Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the SEGAbits Swingin Report Show. I'm Barry, with me is George.
Hello, I'm George.
As well as AJ of the My Life with Sega videos.
Hey, how you doing?
And we have two very special guests with us this week. From Sonic Retro, we have Scarred Sun, as well as David.
Hi.
I built that up for you. You were David. Hello.
Hi, I'm David.
Welcome.
Good evening, Dave.
So thanks for joining us, guys. Pretty much what we do is we say who we are, what we just did, and then we go around and say what we've been playing. Guests first, Scarred Sun, you want to say a little bit about...
I'm going to be very boring and disappointing and let you guys know I haven't had time to play mini games, period, lately. All I've been doing is looking at people's hacks when they send them to me every once in a while, so...
Okay. Fair enough. You could lie.
You could lie. You could.
You've been playing all the Call of Duties at once.
Well, I have been sitting around waiting a lot, so I guess I've been playing SimCity.
Oh, there you go.
The new one? Or the old one? I don't know.
Oh, the new one in all its disastrous glory.
Okay, so you play online and you have the whole... How do you like the whole new system where supposedly other people have to make, like... I guess you could have a town that's good at water and then they kind of like give your town water? I don't really know how that works, but it sounds kind of...
The premise is interesting. It'll be kind of unique to see how that plays out and who just basically becomes like resource barons.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like. And I don't understand. It's not called... it's SimCity, not SimCities. But it seems like you need more than one city to even play the game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that kind of sucks.
Well, like when you were a kid, didn't you play SimCity with like 5 at once, so you could at least have like 2 to just destroy with the spider monster and stuff?
No, all I did was build a city, then destroy it. That's all I did. Because I didn't really like doing anything else on that game. I don't know. It's not my type of game, I guess.
You're very picky, George.
I just got bored easily. I have no patience, so when I got bored, I was like, I'll just destroy everything that I worked hard on. That was my attitude.
That was
Did
mine.
you destroy it with Godzilla? Was it Godzilla that destroyed it?
I wish. I'm sure there's a mod now that you could have Godzilla destroy your city.
Well, no, because I had SimCity. I had the original SimCity. I used to play it on a Compact 2. You know, it was a portable computer, but it weighed 50 pounds. And
very portable.
I would play. Yeah. It was SimCity, and you know, be like Monster, but it looked like Godzilla. It was just not called Godzilla because copyright. Huh. And yeah, I would just play the scenarios and then have them destroy all the cities. So I would lose every time. So I didn't even get to the point where I built a city. I just used the city they already built and blew it up with Godzilla.
But I'm surprised that SimCity's still going around and it's still selling. Like, how much does it cost? The game.
The new one? Good question.
Aren't they like $25-$30? Something like that?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally they'll pop up on Steam and you can get like 4 of them for $20. Oh, the new one's like $60.
$60? I'm not the... I like
build. Go back to... Oh.
I was gonna say I like destroying cities, but not for $60.
Well, can you commit fits of homicidal rage? That's what I'd like to know.
I'm not gonna. Sorry, Andrew. What do you say? I couldn't hear you.
No, I was saying, can you commit fits of homicidal rage? That's really all I want to know.
In the game?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. I haven't played the new one, obviously, but
you just play Grand Theft Auto.
Just play Grand Theft Auto.
That's not the same. I want to like rip out entrails and use them to play hopscotch. Something like that. That'd be sexy. I'd like that.
I'm surprised
if The Sims could do that.
Go outside and start doing it. Go outside.
Yeah, but then you have the consequences of imprisonment and trials.
Real life has the best graphics.
I don't like that. It's very inconvenient for me. I have too many games, and I just can't. I find that questionable. I find things look better in movies and video games than in reality.
Well, what have you been playing, AJ, besides killing people in real life and then not telling us about it?
No, don't worry. I'll tell you about it next time. No. Recently I've just started playing D, and having a lot of fun with that. I wasn't too interested before purchasing it, but it was like, this looks interesting. I like the idea of the story, and then once its creator died, I figured, ooh, I really need to check this out. Then pay some respect, and
Cool.
I actually really enjoy it. I think it kind of gets a bum rap. Not to spoil the review come the third, but I really enjoy the game. It reminds me very much of like a really slick point and click adventure, and I think if you look at it through that kind of perspective, it's actually pretty enjoyable. But
answer this for me. In D, it's a Saturn game, but D2 was a movie about a hockey team with Emilio Estevez.
Are they related?
Yeah, I mean, it was really a
sequel?
shift. I've tried to see if there was something. Maybe the knuckle puck is the knuckle puck in D.
Well, I thought it was kind of strange because Emilio Estevez does show up towards the end of the game. That's if you get the bad ending. But
okay, it's like Shenmue. He shows up and he's like, "You're out of time, father."
But I'm really thankful for D though, because after finishing Colonial Marines, I kind of needed something to cleanse my palate.
Sorry.
I had to give it a shot and see what it was like, and I was like, oh, okay, this is lame. So I'm gonna go and play D. That was much better.
Are you surprised that there's people on the forums defending Aliens Colonial Marines?
Well, I really have. Well, you see, here's the thing. I like pussy, so I don't like to read all that debate shit that goes on for like 9 pages. So,
Neither do I. I just let it go because they seem to enjoy it.
You have to weigh that shit. So really, and from what I could tell, a lot of people are just kind of defending, like, oh, let's have an open mind and be this way. And I'm like, well, that's all well and fine, but does it really take 9 pages to communicate this bullshit? And everyone's just trying to get their own goddamn point across rather than actually listening to each other, which is communication in a nutshell. Fuck you. Sorry.
I'm assuming you...
But anywho, as far as defending, I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, the story was like god awful, and the gameplay is, boring. It's nothing new by any stretch of the imagination. There's no polish. The sound effects are crap. It's just, it's disappointing. It's not what you expect after 6 years of waiting, and it's not like Duke Nukem Forever, where it kept going from developer to developer to developer and so on. It's just, fuck. You know what? Let's talk about something happy. I don't have enough cigarettes for this conversation.
All right. David could talk about what he's been playing. Hopefully, it's not Aliens Colonial Marines.
No, I haven't touched that at all. So
good man.
What have I been playing? Well, I've been kind of bad too about playing games. I don't know if you could really say it's bad, but yeah. I've been playing a lot of Geometry Wars Touch on my phone. Like I'll just sit. Play it. I do the pacifism mode because for some reason I'm like, I don't want to shoot anything, so I just fly through like the barriers and make things explode. And I don't know why I keep on playing that a lot over and over again. So that's almost like a non-game. I'm not even playing it right. Have I been doing anything else? I was also playing a lot of Mario Kart Wii with the lady friend.
Lady friend? What do you mean, lady friend?
Oh, I have a friend and she's a lady.
An estrogen component. Do tell.
What? A what component?
An estrogen component.
Yeah, it's a. Well, I guess the proper term is girlfriend, but lady friend sounds more mysterious.
It sounds like you kind of like friend zoned this woman, or she friend zoned you, and she's like, "I'm gonna go to your house and we're gonna play fucking Mario Kart," and you're like, "But I like Sega." No, Mario Kart. And you're like, "Fuck, all right."
George, you're completely.
No, I see. I've tried to explain.
What happened, Barry?
I wasn't talking.
No, that was me. I said you're misreading the conversation. When he says lady friend, it's kind of like Clint Eastwood in that one Dirty Harry movie where he's like, I'm entertaining a lady friend. And I'm pretty sure it was strip Mario Kart. Let's just get that out of the way. Isn't that right?
Well, You see.
Forgive me, I'm a perv, David.
Oh, it's.
I was
it's
talking
okay.
from experience, Andrew. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
Zoning.
Well, who put you in the friend zone?
Why wouldn't? No, I'm not even. We're not gonna have this conversation right now in this podcast.
All right.
Well,
That's
George,
one of the.
I'm always
That's
afraid
one of
some. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna say that's one of the levels in the Sonic 2 beta, right?
friend zone.
Yes.
Excellent. George, what have you been playing?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck! I can't believe it's gonna come to me. Anyway,
Spin the bottle.
actually I've been playing the first Witcher game again because like I'm kind of hyping myself for the third one, so I want to play the first one and the second one. And something that never bothered me when I first played it, or I didn't really notice, but goddamn, they're fucking very terrible at repeating character models. Like, and it's all obvious because like they'll have like this witch-looking character, like like old lady with the moles and stuff. And then they repeat the same character 5 feet later. Like you literally move 5 feet and it's the same character with the same voice, but it's supposed to be a different character. And that's my only complaint with the game right now. That and like it has one of those like low budget, oddly cut scenes where like it's like it goes from one section of the map to the other section of the map and it doesn't make any sense. It has some of those cut scenes, but the game's pretty good so far. It's
Nice.
not dragging or anything.
Yeah.
That's the game I've been playing.
You've been actually playing something. I've just been playing mobile phone games, which
Jeez,
apparently they don't count as real games. So
Apparently, you got everybody here is just a
Who said
casual
that?
gamer. It's besides
That's
me and
true.
Andrew.
I'm playing
Yeah.
Farmville. I'm playing Words with Friends. I'm
Not
playing
too
against
far
all
from
of
it.
you now. Why aren't you responding? I want to play Draw Something. I sold my soul to Zynga,
Those are all.
and
those
they
are all
gave me 10,000 gold coins for it.
Is it
Oh.
gold coins only? Is that a lot in
No.
those games? I don't know.
That's a good amount.
I don't play
No.
mobile games because I'm afraid my battery's gonna run out. So
I've been playing. Well, I charge during work. I play when I go into work and I play on the way home. But I've been playing Sonic Dash, which came out today. It's enjoyable.
it's Temple Run with Sonic, isn't it?
Pretty much, but at the same time, a lot of the like storybook games were pretty much Temple Run, and that was pre-Temple Run. So I don't know. I mean, it is Temple Run, but it's kind of hard to say that Temple Run beat Sonic to what Sonic was. Or I don't know. Anyway,
It looks pretty fucking cute, man. I saw the fucking graphics. Very
That's
pretty
a good
shit.
way to put it. It's cute and it's fun and easy, and for $1.99, I'm not going to complain about it. There's people who will go on and on about the render, and they're like, "Oh, look at his teeth." Oh. And I'm like, that's not the game. Oh, what are we supposed to talk about? So
Is Big the Cat unlockable? That's the only thing I want to play as, to be honest.
he just
Big
smashes
Cat-
through everything.
That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
right. No, and that's pretty much it. And then all the games that David mentioned.
David. All the iOS games?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of addicted to The Simpsons Tapped Out, which is kind of like Farmville Simpsons.
Yeah,
But-
I've known people in real life that play that game, like a lot of people. It's weird.
I log into it like 5 times a day, but today was a special day for me because I discovered a glitch in the game that allows you to pretty much have free reign on the entire store, and you don't get charged for it. So I spent about probably, like real world money, it probably would have been like close to $500, but since the glitch was going on, I never got charged for it. So I had a fun day.
Nice.
You're
Yeah.
a thief.
I'm not a thief.
Poor
You're
fucking
sticking it to the man.
poor EA's fucking losing money every time they fucking put out their their financial reports, and
Yeah,
it's
they
all
just
because
lost
of
a bunch
you.
of money today.
It's all
Yeah.
Barry lost us $42 million this month.
You're the
Thank
reason our economy is shit, Barry. I hope
It
you're
was-
happy, man.
It was so easy though. So easy.
Oh, crime of
You-
opportunity. That makes it much better.
You place a bet on the Greyhound races. You go over and you pick a scratch card. You scratch the card and you don't collect the winnings, and instead it glitches the game and it puts you into negatives for all your cash, and it's beautiful. I downloaded everything. Anyway, that was my day. Let's move on to news. Hell yeah, developer shuts down their studio. Aikido is gone.
That's a shame.
They only
Yeah.
made like one game that we would actually play because like their other games were mobile games, I guess, and I never heard of them.
They made those Pix and Love games with the little pixel cat jumping around.
It
What
wasn't
else
released
did
on
they...
Android, right? It was only iOS.
No, they made a game that was they made 3 Xbox Live indie games. There was the Jump, Swap, and Pixel, and they were pretty cool. And then they made a few others. I mean, the company's not dead, but they pretty much said that there's only 2 people that exist, and one of them doesn't want to do anything with the company anymore, and the other one's like sitting doing other things. So it's a shame, but at least it doesn't sound like Sega killed them, which is a good thing.
It's a shame,
Yeah.
but they kind of had it coming. I mean, if you look at everything they've built up until now, they've been very small, very rapid release games. And I think they may have bit off more than they could chew with Hell Yeah.
Yeah, that was what they noted. They said it was like one of their most expensive games. But the funny thing is, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that looks like a pretty not inexpensive, but it seems like a pretty small game in the grand scheme of things. So if that's huge for them, then I can't really see how they could have gone anywhere from there.
Well, it looked like the amount of detail they put into those levels, and just the production value of a 2D platformer and the speed, and I don't know. I think that was an expensive looking game. Well, but again, like you said, they started off doing mobile, so I could see where that would maybe be one of their bigger titles. But I kind of wish it was more, what's the word I'm looking for? Financially successful, because I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with Hell Yeah.
It's a shame.
And
Yeah,
AJ usually does not like new games, so that's like kind of like pretty good feedback.
Yeah, that's right.
I do like some new games. It's just that they're few and far between. For every game like LA Noire that I like to play, where I get to play detective and live out my fantasies of being a hard-boiled, hard-drinking, hard-smoking badass that detects, criminals and kicks their ass and makes them pay for what they've done. There's like a bunch of Call of Duties. I'm kind of tired of the first-person shooter war simulator, and I'm not. And that seems to be the meal of the day. I don't give a fuck. When I see something like Hell Yeah, that was like a breath of fresh air. So I was very happy about Hell Yeah. It had a great sense of humor. It felt to me it had a classic Sega spirit to it. It's hard to explain for me, but I really enjoyed it. It was a nice change of pace, and I'm sad to see them go. I would have loved to have seen a crazy ass sequel to Hell Yeah. That would have been great.
Called like Hell No.
Yes.
It's like it has to do with rape or something. Like Hell No.
Or Hell
Hell
Yeah
No.
with a vengeance.
Or drugs. Say
How
hell
about-
no.
Heck!
Heck yes. The
Well,
censor
just
that'd
heck,
be like the
With the ... That's more confusing than Ivy the Kiwi with a question mark after it. So I don't know.
David, have you played Hell Yeah?
No, I'm no help in this conversation.
Oh,
Okay.
What? I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
I'm
I've
glad you didn't
seen
lie.
footage. Yeah, I can be like, oh yeah, I played it. It was great. I have no other opinion aside from that. No, I saw the trailers. It looked interesting, but I mean, I just never got around to actually playing it. I mean, part of it is because I know there's a version on the phone, but at the moment I just don't really have access to a 360 or a PS3 like easily, and so certain games I don't want to buy it and have it sit on somebody else's system and me not touch it. So it's just a case where I haven't gotten to play the proper one, and I just didn't want to deal with the mobile version. So.
right. How I usually get around that, because I also don't technically buy a lot of games because I don't have a television at the moment, but I do watch people play them in real time. And
Yeah.
I watched a playthrough of Hell Yeah, and
it seems like it would be really fun. The only thing is, as far as that humor goes, I wonder if it pushes a little too hard. Like, after a while, some of the jokes got a little stale. And I'm not sure how much of that is just getting lost in translation or what, but I thought, like, it had a good premise. It tried too hard to be quirky art game without actually pulling it off.
I'm not entirely sure about that, but admittedly, the humor it's hit or miss. I mean, if you like that sort of thing, great. If not, well, But I like the humor. It was kind of sick and a little bit perverted, which is totally up my alley. So, but yeah, I mean, I liked it. I didn't really get the. I don't know. When I think of art games, I think of shit like that one game where it was essentially you're just looking at silhouettes. Like, that's what I think of when I think of art games. And it was like a platformer of some sort, and it was.
Are you talking about Limbo?
Yes, that was it. Thank you, Limbo.
Yeah.
I like Limbo, but it was like a one-time playthrough for me. I don't know.
Well, that's the risk you run when making a, quote unquote artsy game. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, it's fascinating. It's really visually pretty and simple, and it's very elegant. But damn, I don't want to play that again. It's not like Sonic where it's like, okay, I'm gonna jump that fucking pit. I'm not gonna get hit by that lava. I'm not gonna lose my rings. I'm gonna get every Chaos Emerald. It doesn't have that kind of need, and at least that's what I got from Limbo. That's what I think of with art games. What I see with like Hell Yeah, I see like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, where they really don't give a fuck. They're just gonna put out something that's weird. They're like, this shit makes us laugh.
I think that's actually a really good analogy.
So, but that's me.
So shame to see them closing, but I think they went out on a pretty high note. It wasn't the best note they could have gone out on, but still, I think Hell Yeah is a good game to end on for them. And it doesn't sound like it was a horrible thing. They pretty much said all of their projects reached a conclusion. They didn't have any new projects they wanted to go on to, and they just went their separate ways. But I bet they'll come back eventually. It always happens. Moving on, we have Nagoshi talking Relic purchase, as well as the next generation and the future of Sega. I have a few quotes if you want me to read them in his voice.
Please do.
Japanese accent.
First off, the Relic buyout was due to Sega wanting to make the games locally, which a lot of people are assuming was because of the Gearbox software drama. So instead of having to rely on publishers or developers elsewhere, they can keep it in house and keep more control over it.
It also isn't bad that a company Hero sold like 4 million copies.
That's true too. That'll give them a few bucks in their pocket. But here's what Nagoshi said. The purchase is based around our objective of getting products locally developed by local studios, but it's also due to the heavy-hitting RTS titles Relic has. Does that sound like him? Anyway,
you got to have that tan.
I'm pretty sure that's pitch perfect.
You got to have that tan.
Sega already has the creative assembly, which is great at making RTS. Now he's turning into like a Russian. So we're becoming one of the best in the world at this genre now. So this purchase was part of our strategy for tackling this genre as well. Yeah, it's a well-established one, especially overseas, and having this wealth of experience under our belts makes me really look forward to seeing how the chemistry between the two studios works out. If we have the opportunity to make further purchases that emphasize high creativity, I think you'll see us aiming for that. And then he puts his sunglasses on. So.
You do sound very Russian there, man.
Yeah, well, I figured to go with it.
You need to go back behind Iron Curtain where you belong.
So then his fangs come out and he drains the blood of the interviewee. Or interviewer. Wait, words.
I think
He's getting into Transylvania at the end.
He's not a vampire. David, he's not a vampire. Have you seen this man? This man is the opposite of a vampire. This guy's toasty. That would be.
He's a reverse
he's
vampire.
Like the.
He's a vampire hunter.
He'd be like the king vampire because the king, right, can hang out in the sun. So he's like
the daywalker.
Expect.
I don't give a shit what kind of vampire he is, so long as he doesn't sparkle. That's all I care about. I'd rather him be toasty. I'm good with toasty, but sparkling, no.
I think the most interesting thing that he said was in another quote. I won't use the voice, but he was just talking about what the Sega logo represents to him when you see it at the beginning of the game and what you should expect. And he said the Sega logo represents things seem crazy at first, but really surprise you when they take form. So when people say, "Oh, now they've done it," at us sometimes, I don't want to do away with the expectations that people have had for us way back. It wouldn't seem right if Sega acted all firm and conservative. So he's definitely.
He's pretty much not talking about fucking aliens, colonial marines, right?
No, it seems like it's much more in the over-the-top Yakuza or Jet Set Radio or Sonic kind of vibe that I think more people enjoy than...
That's so ironic, though, in light of the fact that they have been firm and conservative for the past few years, and it hasn't helped them at all. This idea that we're going to strip down to Sonic and Total War and Aliens and Football Manager, and we'll just build our planes like that. Oh, we'll license these franchise games, and those will totally sell well. You can't do that. In today's market, you've got to have a very small, nimble teams. It goes back to Arcado. That's the direction they should be moving in, and where they should be putting more emphasis, both R&D and marketing-wise.
Yeah.
Wait, Sega has marketing?
I know. It's surprising sometimes.
I thought their marketing department shut down in '94.
A good marketing team during the Dreamcast era. It's just
no.
You couldn't.
Apparently, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Uh-oh, you got AJ.
That's the thing. See, Sega should be all crazy and kooky because they showed up out of the blue, even though they had been around forever, in 1991, and it wasn't. They didn't just have Sonic because it was just. Everyone bought the Genesis / Mega Drive for Sonic, but if it didn't have all these other games that tried to be different and tried to be, crazy but fun and alluring, then the system wouldn't have gotten as big as it did. And I know they tried to keep that momentum going through the Saturn and the Dreamcast, and I don't know.
I don't think they can keep the same level of output that they did during the Dreamcast era, but I would love it if every year we got at least one or two games that were just as crazy as Space Channel 5 or Jet Set Radio. Last year, I think, was it last year? Yeah, the one game that really felt like an old Sega title to me, or at least something new and different, was what was that? Rhythm Thief. I really enjoyed that one. It was still just a straight up rhythm game, but it was fun. I liked it. It wasn't something I expected them to release. And with Space Channel 5, you're like, what the fuck is this? And then when you play it, it's enjoyable. So that's me.
It's funny that you mentioned it's funny that you mentioned Rhythm Thief. That game got no fucking marketing whatsoever. I
know.
Yeah. Wasn't it published? Yeah. Wasn't it published by Nintendo?
In the US it was, yes.
And they fucked up marketing too? Come on.
I think it was all on. So can we expect any marketing for Bayonetta 2?
I don't even want to say anything about. That's a game right there that actually, when you were quoting him, that a game that starts off so bizarre and weird and then ends up with something you love. That reminded me of me playing Bayonetta. That game was it felt like I was dropped into the middle of a fucking movie, and then I didn't really understand the whole fucking game until the end of the game.
I hear you.
It's kind of sad seeing that Bayonetta 2 is going to be published by Nintendo. So
I don't know. I guess we got to let those old pains go. Us old fogies. You got to let's face it. Sega doesn't make consoles anymore. They haven't in years, and they're not going to. I don't care what the folks in the forums keep saying. It's it could happen. It could happen. It's no, it cannot. Get your head out of your ass and look at the future. It's not going to happen.
I just don't want to buy. I think it's more that I just don't want to buy a goddamn Wii U. I think that's what it is. I don't want a Wii
U.
I want a Wii. I just can't.
We want one. You want one. Get one, George.
Can I use a
I need a Wii. I need to go to the bathroom.
Go right now then.
No.
We're going to talk about Shenmue 3.
Now I really can't.
Fans, please, no. Fans, please, no.
Listen,
Look, you don't understand. I need to know what happened on the day when the snow turned to
rain.
rain.
Look,
On
David,
that day.
we've been looking for those sailors for a while. We still can't find them.
Look, guys, I
don't know about you, but I've found some sailors, just not the right kind.
I got Suzuki on my AOL Instant Messenger, and he told me it's coming out, and I trust him.
My dad's best friend from 4th grade works for Nintendo, and he told me that Shenmue III is coming out on the PlayStation 1.
Oh man, that's betrayal.
That it wouldn't be powerful enough to handle it. But here's the thing. Admittedly, after hearing that whole thing, I went over to ShenmueDojo.net, who helped me out with the Shenmue review.
Should I reiterate what it is? It's people are claiming that Yu Suzuki is thinking of using Kickstarter to fund Shenmue 3. That's pretty much the news.
Yeah, but after reading the transcript, it sounds as if somebody asked if that was a possibility, and he simply replied, maybe.
Right.
So that's not an affirmative. It's not as if he sat there and says, no, I am thinking of doing Kickstarter to make game.
Please
no.
Why would he talk like that? He's not Chinese.
Also, I like the idea that he would somehow use Kickstarter to raise $40 million in funds.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Shenmue now would need that much money. I mean, I guess at the time when the technology was all brand new, but I don't think Sega's ever going to use Kickstarter because it kind of makes the company look weak. It's like, oh, we can't even fucking afford to fund our own games, even though we're making profit since last year. You know what I mean? I think last time they made like 20 million profit on the consumer business, which it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a bad image, I think. Like your company, a big multi-million-dollar or I don't know how much they're worth, company saying, hey guys, give us money so we can make a game. Am I the only one?
Well, hasn't Yu Suzuki technically retired?
Sort of, not quite. He still does like these little like mobile film projects or something like that, but nothing serious. Yeah, he doesn't do like large scale games anymore. But going to George's bit there, the problem is I don't think Sega would do it because in the end, as many fans as there are for Shenmue, we are still very niche. We're small compared to other games. I mean, honestly, I think there is greater fan outcry out there right now for bringing the latest Yakuza title to America than there is for Shenmue 3. And maybe because either they're more vocal or it's more plentiful. But in any case, they're not going to take that kind of risk for what is considerably a rabid, sure, but a small fan base. And they're just not going to take that kind of risk, and they're not going to take money from fans because, that's not a sure thing. And Sega's big on sure things these days because they keep failing. So,
now,
I'm sorry.
How about that whole thing where people are like, give Yu Suzuki the Shenmue license. Just give it to him.
I don't think he really has. My personal opinion of the man, and I could be wrong, I don't think he really has it in him to really handle that kind of project on his own and try and get funding together, get the people together, people that he trusts, people that he can work with. And I just don't see that really happening. As much as I would love to get my closure, it's not going to happen. Here he's been talking about continuing the series through manga and anime, and he's been talking about that for almost a decade, and it has yet to happen. And producing a manga or an anime is considerably easier and cheaper than making a game. So if he can't even get off his ass to do that, then what is our chances of getting a game?
But I mean, would you be happy with a manga or an anime? I don't think it would work right in an anime or manga because part of the game was like you're living through this kid who fucking does really stupid little shit like go to the arcade or buy a soda.
Hey, I love that arcade. I was addicted to darts for hours because I was waiting for it to happen.
No, I'm saying it's the experience in the game that makes you like the game, not the story.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I'm afraid that if it was done that way, if it was just like, oh, I made a movie, here's the end of the story, that it would just become extremely generic and boring, and everyone would be like, oh, what was the big deal? Why did we even care about Shenmue in the first place? And the whole thing is that it is a game. It is that nonstop sort of, I mean, you could play it a million times and it'd be ever so different each time just because you could be done December, you could be done June. Wait, no. Well,
I
yeah,
think it
it's
kicks
just
you out by then. But
no. It kicks you out like April or something, right? And that's when you die. He comes back and finds the other mirror.
all
Chapter
this so
one.
But
summer,
ending.
man.
Yeah, it's
But
something. Like
ending.
that.
I have to argue that for a second, though. The story is the reason the game lives. It's if you go to the forums and shit like that, they're talking about getting closure on the story. They want to see either Ryu get his revenge, or somehow find out that his father was actually a prick, and maybe Landy isn't so bad. You know, they're talking about the story. They're not sitting there saying, "Oh my goodness, I really want to run around Yokosuka again and talk to non-playable characters that are like, Rio, you're not getting a tattoo, are you?" No, they're not talking about, "Oh man, I miss you, arcade," or "Oh God, I want to hang out with Fukusan again." No, they want to know about the story. The story is
I
why we
miss
talk about.
Real talk, did anyone like Fukusan?
I like his name. His name is fun to say.
He talked like this.
I guess to be fair, me and my sister used to make fun of Fukusan all the time because I forced her to watch me play the entirety of
Why did you
Shenmue.
make fun of Fuku-san?
I don't know. Why would I do that?
Because he's an idiot. That whole scene with Ine-san, and he spoils Ryo's whole plan and fucks it up. I wanted to kick him right in the ass. If he was my friend, I would have thrown him out of the fucking dojo. I would have been like, "Take your goddamn sandals or come back."
You could tell that Fukusan's been through some shit though. Like, it felt like
That's because
they
he's an
adopted.
idiot.
Yeah, they adopted him, and like every day Ryu would like beat the shit out of him. Like he would wait in the hallway, he would come out of his room, and he just punch him. And he's all, "Next time I'm gonna punch you harder," and he'll leave. That's what I think their like childhood was like.
He's like Johnny Sasaki from the Metal Gear series. He's just a little wimp. It's oh god, Fukusan. I don't miss him at all.
Yeah. Well, I'd say in regards to like an anime or like a manga, it would be like the equivalent of like someone being like, "Hey, they're making a new Star Wars. Do you want to see it?" Yeah, yeah. Well, they're not making the movie. You can read the script. Like it's not the full experience. You gotta. I think it's part story, and I also think it's part playing. And I mean, I'd love it if I could know exactly how the pieces fit together. But it definitely wouldn't compare to actually playing 1 and 2. It'd just be like, oh, so that's how it ends. Cool.
It would be like reading Dark Empire after the original trilogy was over. It's like, this is awesome. Too bad it wasn't a movie.
Yeah, right. Or like you condense down. Take Shenmue 1 for example. You can take out all of the filler, and it's pretty much dad gets killed, goes to the harbor, meets that guy, fights the creepy guy, and then it ends. There aren't that much to the core story. Like you cut out Nozomi and you cut out Goro. It's pretty. It's still it's all the parts that make it what it is. But still, you take the most essential parts. It's pretty small.
Right.
But the hot dog guy.
Tom.
No.
I love Tom.
He's like the best part.
Tom,
Yeah.
side mission of Tom,
God, no. No.
I want
side
a
series.
spin-off.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
spin-off.
I just
Star
love how they're. I love how they're best friends towards the end, and I'm like, I barely hung out with you. I hated you. Your voice was irritating. It's just
Step
Come on.
forward and then step again. Kick.
your father.
He was
As
American,
annoying as
right?
that Jamaican
been,
character from
Yeah.
Corpse Killer.
Like he
Yeah,
had the accent, but
theoretically.
he was like, "I'm from America," right? That was the whole. That was
What,
the
I
shit.
think-
what if Sega announced that they were gonna do a big Shenmue project, and it turns out to be like a Cookie Mama clone for the mobile with Tom, where you
I'd
make
buy
hot
it.
dogs and you sell it, and you have to
Fund
like
it. I will buy like copies of
microtransactions. There's microtransactions on like toppings.
Oh man,
Oh, man.
can I buy more cassette tapes? Because I fucking love buying cassette tapes, especially ones that Tom recommends.
I love cassette tapes. I like that aspect. It reminded me of my old days.
Is that
They
how they
could
can
have it-
fund Shenmue 3 then? By the
Yeah, well, they could have it take place like in modern era. So Tom would be like, "I remember when Rio got back from his adventure. You want to hear more? Pay 99 cents." And then you'd be like, "Yes." And you go, "Oh, he married. Oh, you want to know who he married? Pay 99 cents." Nozomi. He married Nozomi. That's what it was. Oh, Goro. Oh, you want to hear about Goro? So,
Hey, bro. No.
Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? Where can I buy stuff?
Well, you want your wallet?
Yeah.
Well, if you reach into your pants and find 99 cents, I'll give it back to you.
Poor.
It
what's
doesn't
sort of
work.
crazy-
It's on.
Hmm?
Hmm?
I thought you were saying something.
I thought you were saying something.
Well, I didn't want to. I felt bad for interrupting, so I
I
let you
think
slide.
we all were saying something.
I think we're all just too polite. I think one of us has to be like an alpha male and just go, I don't care that you're talking. I'm just gonna say what I want to say.
My story was
Courtney?
perverted and sick. Doesn't need to be shared. So
We could talk about that Mickey game.
Yes,
hey, that's cool.
Sega's Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, is coming to modern consoles? A Brazilian ratings board rated it for Wii U, Xbox, PlayStation 3, and Vita.
So I'm assuming that would be like the classic game on the ROM or whatever.
I
Oh,
guess.
boy.
I mean, but they didn't say if it was the Genesis version or the Master System version. Ideally, they should give them both.
It'd be pretty
Oh, I
cool if
think-
they do an HD remake and it looks like hell yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe like
Clean.
chop.
You want Mickey Mouse to slice people into pieces? And
No,
stuff?
no, not like that. I mean, like it's remade in the look. You know what I mean? Like the clean
That-
graphics.
That'd be great, though. Mickey's like, ha ha, let me cut you into pieces. That'd be awesome.
This is
That would
the
work.
opposite of those strips where he tries to kill himself over and over again because
Oh, yeah.
when he is, and he's like,
Uh,
"No,
I-
I don't like you, Mickey." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna kill myself." Oh, it's not working. It's hilarious.
Is that
Suicide's fun.
is that an actual movie or something?
They were comic strips that were published in newspapers way back when. It's just a series, like a
What
week
was
or
it
two
during
worth.
was it during the Depression era or something? Like it sounds
It
pretty-
was like the 20s or the 30s, or I mean, it's definitely not modern, but
It was the 30s. I'm looking at a picture right now. He put a shotgun between two chairs with a string pulling the trigger, and he has the gun pointed to his head.
wow,
It's like-
positive messages, positive vibes.
suicide was funny back when everyone was depressed in the Depression.
Oh, now he makes me feel like an asshole now for laughing.
That's the plot of Epic Mickey 3 as well. So,
Yeah.
It's a first person shooter. Since we love first person shooters so much. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it'd be cool if it came out on modern consoles. I would like a remake, obviously, because I want everything to be a remake if I'm going to spend money on it. If not, I could just play it on the Genesis, I guess. But I guess it would be cool for people that haven't played it.
Well, what makes me wonder though is this Sega and Disney working together, or does Disney own? Because
Licensing.
Sega developed the game, but Disney owns the license. So I'm wondering if it's a kind of thing. It also makes me wonder if they're working together on Wreck-It Ralph is the reason why they're releasing it. Like they built that little bridge between the companies, so they started working out games that they've developed together in the past. I don't know.
So
I
that
want to
means
see
no.
Quackshot.
I want to see Aladdin.
I want to see Quackshot.
No, Disney's going to buy Sega. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, man. I don't know. That could be a good thing than a bad thing. Just because
Skywalker,
because
Marvel.
because that's the only way that Shenmue 3's coming. No, no, because
finally get that animated Sonic film. Yeah,
I'm just saying,
There you
like
go.
they got Marvel, and I think they did a pretty decent job with Marvel, especially the movies and stuff. Like nobody gives a shit about DC movies. I'm more of a DC fanboy, but like the Marvel movies are pretty popular, and I don't like the comic books right now, but I mean at least the movies are getting a lot of viewers, I guess.
Well, admittedly, I'm more excited
Yeah.
about the Marvel films than, say, Man of Steel, which just looks like
Hey.
ass.
I'm excited for
Oh,
Man of
God.
Steel. I'm not even going to get into this. This conversation's over.
You're
but
killing
it's
me, man.
Superman.
He's Superman, dude. He could save the kid in the bus, but his dad's like, dude, don't save people in the bus. Let him die. And you're like, oh, it must suck being Superman.
Bullshit. He's a god, for fuck's sake.
He is a very. He's not just a god because gods are boring.
Have
He's-
you read Superman Earth
Oh, that's
1,
Christianity.
Volume 2? Or Year 1, Volume 2? I don't know. It's one of those two titles. It's pretty good. If they make a movie like that, I'd fucking cry. I'd cry. And I
You
never
don't
cry.
cry.
I don't cry ever. Ask
You're
my
an alpha
mom.
male.
Ask my mom, dude. I've never cried in my life.
What
Never.
about when you were born?
Never.
I thought you said you cried the first time
Stony
you came to
silence.
orgasm.
That's true. That doesn't count though.
That's okay. I did too. You're not alone.
It was between
Yeah,
me
it's
and
okay.
you. You didn't have to tell everybody.
Well, that's because I'm big on sharing. I'm sorry if you want to be all repressed.
I just think some stuff is private. That's all. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Superman the movie. Why are we talking
Yeah,
about
we were
Superman the movie?
Mickey Mouse. And
We're talking about
Mickey
Mickey Mouse and Marvel buyout. Oh yeah.
Right, because
Marvel,
Sega used to
Disney.
make Marvel games. Yeah, Marvel
Yeah.
movie games. They made Iron Man 2.
So if Sega
Oh.
if Sega says, "Oh, we're a Disney company now. We're making only fucking Mickey Mouse games, no more Sonic." What do you guys? How would that affect? I mean, of course, there's always gonna be Sonic games, but
I can
Sonic
think of
is-
worse companies to buy out Sega than Disney. That would be a good middle of the road compromise. So
we could all go to Disneyland and ride a Sonic fucking roller coaster.
Spitball.
There you go, Sonic Spinball roller coaster.
My friend
Yeah.
who works at Disneyland doesn't work there anymore, so Disneyland is off limits to me, because who the heck wants to pay $150 for that shit?
Parents that don't want to listen to their kids cry.
Good
You
point.
just get Connect Disneyland.
Adults who are children at heart.
Or rich adults that like to do cocaine in the bathrooms at Disneyland and ride a lot of rides.
I've never done
Sounds good.
cocaine at Disneyland. Actually, I've only
I'd
been
ride
to Disney World, but I didn't do cocaine there either.
You never know. Disney has Lucas Interactive under their belts, and they have Disney Interactive, so could happen.
A
Stranger
Japan,
things have happened.
a Japanese company would be kind of weird.
Tokyo Disneyland,
Oh, you mother.
Sonic World,
Rename Sonic World Disneyland.
Disneyland Sonic World.
I don't think Sonic has that much pull in Japan for them to buy them just for that purpose.
No, definitely not.
Should buy Nintendo since they're worth billions. Never mind.
Yeah, right.
After the Wii U,
Once Wii U fails, then they'll be bought out by Disney.
do you think it's
Does
gonna
anyone
fail?
really think Wii U's gonna fail?
Nah, I think it'll skate by.
Yeah.
What if they bought whatever remains of Accolade? Then they'd have Bubsy.
It all.
Yeah.
Don't bring that game up. I don't want to talk about that game.
it's funny. Like I've thought about this in the past. Like how hard would it be to buy those assets and release them into the public domain of something like Bubsy, so we could have nothing but crazy Bubsy clones all day?
I'd love it.
Things like that like just appeal to me on such a base level that I'm tempted one day to just organize Kickstarter, buy all the shitty licenses.
What was his tagline? It was like, wow. It was like,
What could possibly
Yeah.
go
What?
wrong?
what could possibly go wrong? Or some shit like
Oh man, that should be the subtitle to your Kickstarter to buy Bubsy.
What could possibly go wrong? And it just like shows basically everything that could go wrong under that.
Many things could go wrong.
Bubsy sexual game. Sex game would be pretty nice. I would play that.
Wow.
That would ruin my childhood.
I didn't realize Bubsy was such an important part of your childhood.
It
The sex
actually,
game about him.
it actually was. I used to play that game the first one all the time, and then I played the sequel and I hated it. Which I
There's
should
a
have
reason
hated.
why.
Should have hated both.
Wait a minute, guys. Hold up. Realist of the real talk. The current owners of the Bubsy license are Atari SA, and considering that Atari SA is going under, I kind of want to make a serious bid to buy the rights to Bubsy.
How much do you think they'll sell it for? You think they'll overprice it? They're like, like $2 million, or you think they'll be all like
dude, I would be surprised if it got
$10?
six digits.
Just give me $10 fucking bucks and it hit a crack, dude, and you can take the license from my hand.
Let's do it. Make a Kickstarter. It'll be called Let's Buy
Seriously,
Bubsy.
yeah, let's do this. I'm doing it right now.
You're starting a Kickstarter right now?
Kickstarter to buy Bubsy, y'all.
Yeah. I mean,
And let's try and revive the Jaguar while we're at it.
Can we buy the Jaguar? Now I'm-
Absolutely.
Can we buy the rights to all of Jaguar? Actually, that would be kind of cool too. I wonder if they would.
Jaguar. I would do
like to buy all the stuff.
TurboGrafx 16 was cooler. Is Neo? What's that fucking company called that used to do Neo Geo? What's SNK. Are they still around?
Yes.
Yeah, SNK play more.
Oh, never mind then. I wanted to buy
his hopes are dead.
Yeah, my hopes were dead. I just wanted to freaking buy the TurboGrafx 16 so I could tell people that I own the TurboGrafx 16, even though
TurboGrafx 16 wasn't SNK. That was NEC.
Oh, it was another company, huh? Then there you go.
Yeah,
still
Lynx is Atari. Lynx was the Lynx. Lynx was Atari.
There's now that I think about it, there's so many consoles during the 16-bit era. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there were a lot. But it was
explains
nice.
a lot.
So much...
What do you?
Well, we have veered entirely off topic. It went from Mickey to Superman to Marvel to Bubsy.
So that means we're going to talk about Sonic Dash now, right?
Why not? New games. Sonic Dash is out. Dash to the stores.
How's the story? How's the story? How's the story on that game?
All right, get this.
All right.
It's daylight, daybreak.
Oh fuck no.
Time to dash. You gotta dash. You gotta run forever.
So
that's it.
Like, what about Eggman? Is Eggman in the game?
Not yet, but who knows?
Maybe
dash.
he's at the end.
Yeah, maybe he's at the end of the dash.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know,
Sonic...
man. Like, is Amy chasing you? Why are you dashing? Like, I need a story. I need to know why I'm dashing. I can't just dash.
I think he's just dashing to dash, man.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I don't want to play that fucking game.
What could
scares
possibly
shit out of me.
wrong?
What could
Does this take place before or after Shadow the Hedgehog the game?
This is Sonic the Hedgehog 4 2.5.
2.5. Okay, so it takes place after Sonic CD, but before Labyrinth and the same time as Tales of the Music Maker, right?
Yeah, so Tails appears, but he's like, I gotta make music! And he leaves while you're playing.
Is the game actually canon? I'm just being confused. I guess means okay. I was gonna say that's fucking gay. Like, if they actually made it in canon, like,
you know, I wouldn't be. I'm always the one who asks the Sega community team the stupidest questions, and it makes them be like, what did I asked them what the name of the island was in Sonic 4, and they were like, no one's ever asked us that before.
Well,
I want to know the name of the island. And they said, "Oh, we know the name." And they never told us.
I'm gonna, if the Hard Like interview we're doing later, I'm gonna ask them. Well, so what is this, like a fucking sequel to Sonic 06 or something, like that? No.
Go for it if you want to.
No. I'm not gonna do that. That'd be mean.
Yeah.
I don't want to give people negative vibes when they read an interview.
No.
But it's not. So it doesn't have a story. It's just Sonic. Wakes up one morning. He's like, I'm fucking running, dude. I don't give a fuck.
You know what? It's Sonic's exercise routine. That's what it is.
Okay. So
he's
anything particular that you didn't expect from the game? Because I already expected it to be a Temple Run ripoff when I saw the logo.
I didn't expect it to be in 3D. I thought it was going to be a 2D side scroller. I mean, I was surprised they did such a huge graphical leap from Jump. A huge graphical jump from Jump. So it's good. Really like I said, it's not like groundbreaking, but it's got a few issues that all endless runners have when like you round a turn and there's just some crazy like thing in your way that you wouldn't have been able to get around unless you had like reflexes like a crazy person. But it's good.
You think it's weird that they kind of like released it at the same time that Wreck-It Ralph DVD was being released?
They could have. Yeah, that could be the reason why they. I don't know. Their timing, their whole mobile thing is very strange because they'll be like, "Hey, we're making Afterburner Climax for iOS," and you're like, "When's it coming out?" And they're like,
"It's out already."
Yeah. I think the turnaround time for their announcement and release for iOS titles is about 1 or 2 days. Like, it's pretty crazy.
It's like no hype or anything. I mean, how much can you hype a mobile game though? It's like it's on your phone, dude.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have any other new games. Can you think of any new games on the horizon? Oh, Miku, that was just today.
That you share some stuff on Facebook and they're like, you know what, we're gonna listen to you guys, even though that decision was already made like probably 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now you get to feel like you have power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But Yeah, that's going on, and a Company of Heroes 2, which I'm pretty assuming you guys are all into.
All of us.
Yes, all of you.
Well, it's like Sonic, right? Company of Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, yeah, that one's coming out. I guess June something. I don't know. I'll probably review it. I've been trying to play the first one because I bought it in a big THQ pack because they went out of business, and there was like a Relic pack with all their games. This is before Sega bought Relic, and I was like $10, I think, and it was like all their games. So yeah, I've been playing that one. I didn't talk about it in the beginning of the podcast, but it's pretty nice looking, very cinematic game, but it's still an RTS, and I don't have patience for that stuff. We discussed this, right? That I have no patience.
No patience.
No patience
at
all.
Of course not. You're not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. That's not my job. I'm like I'm like a big stupid child. just destroying everything. Get to the point.
So what will you do with this for a candy bar?
Yeah, pretty much. But I think I've just been spoiled with Sega arcade games. Like everything has to be there and it has to be fast, or I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I can't even play Mario games. They're too slow.
Which ones?
Really?
It depends. Mario Kart seems kind of slow to me, but maybe I'm just being a hater.
I still love Mario 64.
Huh?
I like the mobile.
Maybe it's just seeing overweight people on carts that makes me think they're slow or something. Like, oh, they're just slow. They're going slow.
That's profiling.
That is. I'm sorry. I take that back.
But I don't know. I still like Super Mario 64. That's still my favorite Super Mario game.
What's your favorite 64 game? I just want to know.
Favorite Nintendo 64 game?
Yeah.
Well, you can't narrow that down to one. It's like if you ask me what's my favorite Sega.
I could tell you right now what my favorite Nintendo 64 game is.
Yeah, but you're fucking the head and you're a hater. So.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say Superman 64 was my favorite.
Okay, clearly you have some incredible drugs. But no, my favorite games on there were Super Mario 64. I like that a lot. Of course, I love GoldenEye. And I even enjoyed Winback, even though it felt like a poor man's Metal Gear Solid. Stuff like that. I also enjoyed Perfect Dark. A lot of the rare titles. I enjoyed Jet Force Gemini. I thought that was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
What's your favorite Sega game on Nintendo 64?
Ooh.
That's a hard one.
So many good ones. There's so many good ones.
Fuck you.
Sonic Adventure 64.
What fantasy land have you been living in? No. I mean, it's still. Oh, damn! Those were the other ones I liked. I liked most of the Star Wars games, with the exception of Episode 1 Racer. I liked a lot of the Star Wars titles for the Nintendo 64. Those are still some of my favorites. I didn't find them nearly as frustrating as some of the Sega efforts, like Sega Arcade, Star Wars Arcade, and Rebel Assault, which I know was a PC game as well, but the Sega CD version was just such a pain in my ass.
Which one is the one that was on the Dreamcast that was a port of a PS1 game where like it was a Episode 1, but like
Phantom Menace.
Jedi Power Battles.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
That too, but they had Menace and Jedi Power Battles, and they were both.
Jedi Power Battles is my jam, man.
What about Star Wars?
I gotta look it up to see if that's the one that's the one I'm talking about. That one was pretty cool.
Fuck yeah. Well, on that note,
It sucked though, but like it was good though, because that was like the closest thing.
But it was good. That makes a lot of sense.
It just wasn't a good game. Like it had a lot of problems, but I still enjoyed it because it was Star Wars.
Well, on that note, we've completely veered out of Sega territory. So should we call this show OVA?
Oh yeah, let's shut down the show.
Well, first off, I want to thank our guests for joining us, David and Scarred Sun. It was awesome having you. And your website is sonicretro.org.
And
we also have this other site,
SEGAretro.org.
Yeah.
Yes.
See?
And I did, for anyone who's listening, just seriously make an inquiry to Atari SA about buying the rights to Bubsy, so stay tuned.
And the Jaguar.
Oh man, I I'm excited. I'm really excited. See, because I have a copy of Bubsy 2 on the Sega Genesis. It's in the box. See, that's the sound of me hitting the box of Bubsy 2. And inside, you got this cool thing,
you
Nerf.
went and brought it out of your box, and you're like holding it now.
Yeah, I'm holding my copy of Bubsy 2. And there's an ad here for Nerf, because I guess there's a Nerf gun in the game, right? So it's Nerf or nothing. It's Kenner 94. Oh, man.
Buy Nerf.
Cool one.
Buy the rights to Nerf, too.
You got Blast Hammer. The all-new Blast Hammer is big action in a pint-sized package. Whips out to fire 3 mini darts with suction cup tips. That sounds really kinky. And here's a good one. This one's called the Ramrod. Don't let its small size fool you. Deploys from pocket size to full size for awesome pump action power. This is a Nerf catalog I'm reading.
So, like, I'm assuming everything in the 90s had a sexual, like, metaphor to it, like the marketing.
Well, don't you remember Sega's
probably.
ad? The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been
man.
noticing.
Oh, that's true.
I can buy the Bubsy 1 and 2 official strategy guide. It's only $9.99 plus shipping, $4 for the first book, or 50 cents for each additional book, because apparently I'd want to buy multiple copies of the same strategy guide.
Well, once you guys own
I
Bubsy, you won't need to buy the.
Yeah, once you own
Yeah.
the rights, you can print your own strategy guide and sell it, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
true.
The people in bulk.
And then if I fill out the registry card, I can win a free game from Accolade, because it's...
Oh, how
I
are they
wonder if
doing?
that's
They're doing pretty good. Send it in.
Yeah, let me see. What kind of CPU does your computer have? 386, 486, 586, or other?
I wonder. I always
Fine.
wondered. I wonder what they would do. That, like, if you just send them all in right now, like the Dreamcast ones, like, oh, a questionnaire. Oh, let me take the questionnaire and send it into Sega. I wonder if they just
I
like.
don't want to win the 3 arcade game, so...
I wonder how that would work.
Where did you purchase this product? Record store. Oh, and then there's
The
of course,
record
the manual.
store? You know, it's
Yeah,
old.
apparently,
Record
record
store
store is the first option you would think of to buy a video game. Now, like, I don't know if you remember the Bubsy 2 instruction manual. The first half is this really weird comic book. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I mean, not really. But it's like a really,
Again,
oddly drawn.
Barry?
You'll own it
What were you
someday.
saying, Barry?
If you buy rights, the comic's yours.
Yeah, everything in there
That's
is
true.
yours.
So basically, I'm holding Scardson's future in my hand right now. That's...
How much do you think they'll want for it? How much do you think they'll want for it? Like, let's be honest. How much do you think that franchise is worth?
Well,
God.
the last game they made was Bubsy 3.
Can be worth more than 20. That's
So the creator of Bubsy, after they made Bubsy 3, he wanted to make a Bubsy 4. Because there was this interview by the guy who created Bubsy. He did the first one. He did not have anything to do with the second one or the Jaguar game, the CD. What he did is he came back for 3, and he was really excited because he wanted to make the first 3D platformer, but Mario beat him to the punch. And when he saw Mario 64, he was like, oh, shit. This game is gonna suck. But he really wanted to redeem himself with the Bubsy 4, and so he went to Sony and said, hey, can I be your mascot? And they said no, because they had Crash Bandicoot. And, even though Crash never really, they were the
Fuck
first
Crash.
Sony. So that's
Sweet
why there's
too.
never Bubsy 4, because Sony said no. If Crash Bandicoot didn't exist, because I think, didn't Mark Cerny make Crash Bandicoot, right? Is that him? Or
he helped make it. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't invent, he didn't create the character of Crash.
He's a
He was part of
consultant.
it.
He consults.
Right. Because he did Sonic, and then he did Crash, and then he did the PlayStation 4 announcement. I think that's the history.
He looked pretty creepy in the PS4 announcement. We can be honest with that, right? A little bit, a little creepy. I wouldn't.
Marble Madness, yeah.
Oh yeah, he made Marble Madness.
That's back before.
We're running over an hour now, so we should probably close it down, right, Barry?
Sounds good to me. Thanks for joining us on this
Barry,
week's
Barry,
episode.
you can tell Barry needs to go to bed because he's shutting it down quick.
Damn.
All right, go. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it all down. All right, you guys can all say bye, right?
It was
Yeah.
nice talking to you, David and Scarred Son. You folks rock.
Yeah, nice talking to you guys.
Nice talking to you. Thank you for having us on your podcast.
Anytime.
It's nerd for
Anytime.
nothing.
Anytime. Well, I guess I'm going to be here every single week, even when you're not doing the show.
There you go.
Awesome.
We'll see you guys next time we do a show. In 2 weeks, I think. We're doing it bi-weekly, so good night.
Good night. So, is it all right if I say David?
Yeah, I'm just because my internet name is David the Lurker, but my real name's David anyway. So
That works. I'm Barry.
So-
real name's just David Frisk. It's
If-
not very.
If anything, David sounds a lot better than David Lurker, which sounds kind of like a rapist name.
No,
I kind of like that though.
I love the irony of someone lurking their way to the top, though.
Yeah. I started out as a lowly lurker on alt fan Sonic Hedgehog, and
You
here
never
I
wrote
am.
anything.